What's going on, guys? Today I wanted to bring you another one of my 2014 NAWCQ hat format deck profiles. The deck I want to bring you today is a very popular, very powerful meta deck in the format, and that is Bujins. People remember this deck from back in the day as kind of a floodgatey type of deck that would play Kaiser Coliseum in order to kind of towers one monster and not allow your opponent to set up big boards. The times have kind of changed with this specific deck list and in general as modern Bujin deck profiles have kind of strayed away from playing Kaiser Coliseum in the main. Occasionally in tournaments more recently you'll see some playing it, but for the most part a lot of builds will side it if they play it at all, and the reason being is simply it's not a card good going second or into already established boards. So, siding it if you choose to is an option since you'll be going first in those cases. So I want to show off though this deck profile that has a slightly different playstyle than what a lot of people might be used to if they haven't played more recent hat format. So without further ado, let's get into this deck profile. Starting off with the monsters, we play 3 copies of Bujin Yamato. This is the main monster of the deck. It's a Beast Warrior 1800 level 4. Its effect says that once per turn during the end phase, you can add a Bujin monster from your deck to your hand and then send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, and you can only control 1 Bujin Yamato. Your idea is to get to this card as quickly as possible, dump resources, and protect him. After that, 2 copies of Bujin Harume. This is another one of your Beast Warrior Bujin monsters that this one specifically can special summon itself out by banishing other Bujin monsters, which can be relevant as well as being an extender. It also has an effect that if it's special summoned from that effect, if it's destroyed by opponent's card effects, you're able to discard a card and then force your opponent to discard a card. A little less relevant there. It's usually just used as an extender and because it is a Beast Warrior. Lastly, for the Beast Warrior Bujin main deck monsters, I play 1 copy of Bujin Mikazuchi. Honestly, I've considered bumping this up because it is so good. It's come up in so many situations where I really do like it. What it does is when a Bujin is destroyed by battle or card effects, specifically a Beast Warrior Bujin, you can special summon it, and then during the end phase of the turn that it's face up on the field and you sent a Bujin monster from hand to graveyard, you can then add a Bujin spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So very, very strong there. Moving on to the other monsters, we play 2 copies of Bujingi Hair. You're able to banish this to protect one of your Beast Warrior type Bujin monsters from battle or card effects once that turn. 2 copies of Bujingi Turtle. This one works with any of your Bujin monsters, but specifically stops when a card would target it. And then 1 copy of Bujingi Quillin or Kirin, whatever it is, I think it's Quillin, which basically you can banish it and pop a face-up card. This comes up a lot, and it's kind of nice that you can recycle it in a sense, because if not, I would probably consider bumping that up as well, because it's come up in so many situations, especially against decks that play skill drain. Being able to, have a Beast Warrior type Bujin, banish it, and then pop that is so good. Next, we have the hand trap versions, which are 3 copies of Bujingi Crane. Basically, when Beast Warrior type Bujin is battling, you can send it from your hand to the graveyard and double the original attack of one of that battling monster, basically. But only for that battle. So say they attack with another monster, it won't have that attack increase. But with that, we also are playing 1 Honest. So that kind of breaks that rule, but it's a kind of like a fourth copy of Crane, just not searchable. Lastly, for the hand traps, I play 3 Max C. This is a slower, more control-y type deck, so any way to slow down the combo decks is nice. What I will say is I do want to find room to play probably 2 DD Crow, because while you do have the battle protection and stuff with your Bujin cards and, for example, your Honest type cards, you don't really have a way to stop your opponent from comboing. So if they clear your board, they usually can just OTK you, where I find Crow can kind of help mitigate that a little. So finding space for probably 2 Crow would also be an option that I would like. Moving on to the spells, 3 copies of Duality. You don't do a whole lot of special summoning right out the bat, and you do want to find your Yamato. 3 copies of Tenki, same exact thing, you want to find Yamato. 3 Upstart Goblin, you really want to find Yamato, I can't stress that enough. After that, 2 copies of Bujin Carnation. This card, if your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can target a Bujin monster in your graveyard and one of your banished Bujin monsters and special summon both of them. They can only be used for Xyz summons of Beast, Beast Warrior, and Wing Beast type monsters. This is how I said you kind of can recycle some of those graveyard effects of your Bujin monsters, because they banish themselves, so then you can recycle them. And also, it's just a really good card to go into some of your powerful Xyz monsters. After that, 2 copies of Forbidden Lance to protect against spell and trap cards, and 2 copies of Forbidden Chalice to protect against effects that would activate on your turn, as well as, they both have an effect to increase or decrease attack points. So Lance making them lose 800, Chalice making them gain 400, and that actually comes up quite a lot, the attack gain and stuff. And this is also just a really good thing going second into a lot of boards. These are just really powerful. And the last spell I play is 1 copy of Dark Hole, just to make going second into boards much easier. For the trap cards, 3 Breakthrough Skill. Just having as much negation as possible, especially negation that isn't susceptible really to MST or back row removal the way Fiendish Chain is. While a lot of old builds might play Fiendish Chain, the new trend in H.A.T format is Breakthrough Skill, and it's definitely showing why it's a good card. So 3 copies of that. And the last 3 trap cards are 1 Bottomless, 1 Torrential, and 1 Solemn Warning. Depending on how you play the deck, you could play more traps. If you choose slightly less hand traps and go for the more control type of thing where you are main decking those Kaiser Colosseums, some people will even, play wiretaps and stuff, but I think those cards, again, are just better in the side deck versus the main. Moving on to the extra deck, 1 Bujin Kagutsuchi. It lets you mill 5 from your deck, and it also has a built-in protection effect. 3 copies of Bujinte Susanoo. This is your main guy. He can be made with any 2 level 4 Bujin monsters. He can detach a material and either add a Bujin monster from deck to hand or send a Bujin from deck to grave. And then, just being able to attack all opponents' monsters as well is just extremely strong. After that, 1 Constellar Omega, 1 Black Ship of Corn, 1 Honor Arc, 1 Heartland Draco, 1 Direwolf. Actually very important because a lot of people are playing DNA Surgery to switch the attributes, mostly for Geargia, but also against this deck. Turning them so they're no longer Beast Warrior Bujins turns off a lot of your cards. So, having an out to that isn't super generic, or isn't super not generic, whatever it is. I forget kind of what I was saying there. But being able to out it without needing specific types kind of is what I'm getting at there. 1 Starleech Paladynamo, 1 Exiton, 1 Bujinte Tsukiyomi. This has a big defense as well as having a cool effect that you can detach a material, discard your hand minimum 1, and draw 2, which is really good. And then if it's destroyed by opponent's card effects, you're able to summon back level 4 Beast Warrior Bujins from grave up to the number of material, so really strong. 1 Dweller, 1 Cowboy, and 1 Rhapsody in Berserk to round out the extra deck. Anyways, if you guys have questions about other cards I would side in this deck or cool tech choices, if you want to see gameplay or anything like that, definitely let me know in the comment section and I'll try to make a video on that. As well as if you enjoyed this video, I really do appreciate it if you would drop a like on this video and also subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I have a lot more planned, but anyways guys, I will see you in the next video.